Hi there, this is Toki. I born and raised in Iran and moved to California. Currently, I'm living in California. I've been involved with NLP since 2010. And I got the opportunity to meet Robert Dilts and learn and study at the NLP University at the UCSC Santa Cruz, California since 2015. Since that time, many people are asking why NLPU and why Robert Dilts. I say because it's important to learn the latest information and of course firsthand from somebody who walks his talk. As you may know, NLP is based on modeling from successful people and projects. And I think your first model during the NLP courses is your teacher who is sharing his wisdom with you. If you want to feel good constantly in your life, which people call it being successful these days, if you want to achieve more and share your gift with the world, if you're willing to be able to manage your emotion during the challenging times, such as losing a loved one or facing with pandemic or cancer, you need a mentor, a trainer. Walk through all of this consciously and successfully. An authentic, intelligent, and hardworking person. Yes, that's him, my mentor, my role model, Robert Dilts. While many of us were battling with our negative thoughts during the pandemic, he started his new project for all of us and rebuilt NLP University, this time online.
Obviously, the purpose of this webinar is to go over with you what the plans are for this summer, what we'll be doing in our trainer and consultancy certification course, and also how we're going to be doing it in this new and special year. We've been waiting to do this program for literally for years. It's been several years. So yeah, thank you. I think I am spotlighted now. So what my plan is, I'd like to go over with you what we do in the program, then how we're going to do it, and then we'll obviously have some time for questions. We also have several of our NLPU trainers and several of our NLPU resource team members here. And of course, we have Teresa Epstein, who is our NLPU coordinator. So we can answer questions for you. There's Teresa. And so we can answer questions for you. So I think since we do have a fairly limited time, and just one other thing, one of the announcements said this was a 90-minute session, but it's actually 45 minutes, although Toktam, and it was said that she's willing to stay a little later and answer questions if there are more questions after that time. But we are planning to wrap up in about just about 45 minutes. So I would like to kind of dive into the program and share a little bit with you about this. You know, I was realizing that our trainer training, we started doing trainer trainings up at University of California at Santa Cruz before we were NLP University, back when we were Dynamic Learning Center. And Teresa, I think we did the first one in either 1987 or for sure 1988, if it wasn't 1987. So that's a long time ago. And it's kind of been one of our flagship programs. And it's something that we're really proud of. It's something that I think has been something that sets us as NLPU apart from others, just that it's one of our commitments to really do a very high level, high class trainer training. Now, also, as we'll see, it's not only what we call a trainer training, it's also what we call a trainer and consultancy skills. And I'll explain a little bit about why we include both here, but they're both really important for somebody who really wants to take a next step in their career as an NLP professional. Becoming an NLP trainer is probably one of the most important and the biggest steps that you can make as an NLP professional. So I'm going to share some slides for a few minutes and kind of go over what we kind of cover in the program. Then we'll look a little bit at how we do it. and then how we're going to be doing it in our unique way this year. So I'm going to go ahead and just begin now and share my screen. So, so first of all, it's, as we said, it's an NLPU trainer and consultancy certification program. The dates are this August 4th to 16th at the University of California at Santa Cruz, which I'm sure that you all know is where it's the birthplace of NLP. So it's one of the kind of significant, it's a little bit like going to Mecca in a way, if you will. And so what do we do? This program is organized around what we would call an NLP, the TOTE model. And first thing is, so we would say, what is a trainer? What does a trainer do? If you look in the dictionary, it says it's an activity leading to skilled behavior. Now, I think that's important. So it's an activity leading to skilled behavior, not just to, be interested in something, not just to learn about it, but to actually be skilled. Another definition is to teach and form by practice, to educate, exercise, discipline. And all of these are things that we do in our program. And as we say, we're kind of organizing it around what we call this training tote, where there's a feedback loop, where we're testing, and then you operate, you do things until you reach a level of skill, a level of performance. And so if we think about training, one of the things that we do as trainers is as from an NLP perspective, is we're working with the human nervous system. And so, our inputs are our presentation. So we'll make a presentation, and that presentation is, we kind of want to make sure that it somehow gets represented as cognitive maps. And we would say the difference between simply a presenter and a teacher is that a presenter, you give the information and people take what they take, that's it. If you're a teacher, you really want to make sure that people understand it, that they actually are able to create a mental map of it. And so this is one of the things we're doing. We work on presentation, but also on what does it take to make sure that somebody really has a good understanding. But really for training, it's not only the cognitive understanding, it's getting the experiences, the practice, the exercise that allows people to actually do. So the difference between a presenter and a teacher is a presenter presents and people get what they get. A teacher has to make sure that people have understood something, but a trainer has to make sure that people can do something. And that's what an NLP trainer does. We make sure that people can do these basic NLP activities. Now, if we look at what we would call the sort of different stages of learning, you have knowing something. So this idea of consciousness, and some things we learn by discovery, they're implicit. Other things we learn by direct communication, they're explicit. But on the other side, we have doing and competency. And so some people, they're naive or they're beginning, and then you become experienced. So now if we think about, well, what is the purpose of learning and training? We want to get people who often start at this place of unconscious incompetence. That means they don't know about NLP. They don't know what NLP is. They don't know what they don't know. And we want to help them to become both, kind of, on the one hand, you're helping people learn things where they become aware of it, but they're not yet competent. Other times you're helping people learn to do things, but they're not yet quite sure of what they're doing. And so a goal of training is to be able to do what you know and to know what you're doing. And that's where conscious competence and mastery comes in. So we design our program to be able to cover all of these things to help individuals really master NLP. And that's what you get. That's how we've designed this NLPU trainer training, which, as I was saying when we began, we have been doing now for many, many years. So now we also say there's this trainer in consultancy. Why consultancy? Because a lot of us, if you are a trainer and you're doing training in NLP, whether it's with educators or whether it's a lot of my work has been in businesses, you're not just going to go out and do some kind of pre-designed practitioner program. You've got to design the program to fit the needs of your customer. So this is one of the other things that we're doing here is we're going to help you to learn how do you create programs. So what is consultancy? Consultancy is a bit like coaching, but you're kind of using it more from a whole group of people. And of course, it starts with the present state, where maybe the present state of the client or customers, there's some kind of confusion or conflict. And there's a desired state. And maybe that desired state is to have people be able to be coordinated and organized to able to be successful, to achieve success. And what you got to do as a consultant is to create the path, what's going to help people go from that present state to the desired state. And this is where the different levels of change come in. That path is going to involve things relating to environment, to behaviors, of course, but also to capabilities, to values and beliefs, to motivation, to senses of identity, a sense of purpose. And that's often where the training comes in. So I found in my own work as a trainer, I had to naturally learn to become a consultant because what I was doing for my clients was designing and creating programs. But also as a consultant, I have to be a trainer because I then have to implement this path. So, we say that as an NLP trainer, we're working with all of these levels. And this is what we're going to be learning. We learn at NLPU, we're working with the environment. How do we create a good learning context? And then, of course, we're working with behaviors. We need to engage people in actions, in learn what to do, learn the steps of the processes, learn to be able to do all those basic NLP things like anchoring, like using and adapting language. But to do that, you've got to develop some of the mental maps, and that's where teaching really becomes an important part of it. In order to do what I have to do, I have to know how to do it. So this is where we're engaging the mind and learning strategies. And as a trainer, we're teaching these strategies. But then, and I think this is significant, and it's something that we really emphasize at our NLPU programs, but certainly in our trainer training. On the one hand, you would focus practitioner level NLP is at these basic levels: the how, the what, the where, and the when. But to really master something, we also need the motivation. And for us, we think that it's important that as trainers of NLP and consultants in NLP, we are working with the values and the beliefs, that we're able to engage not just the mind, but also the heart, the motivation. So we also do work with, okay, if I was a trainer, there are certain types of beliefs and values that I need to be able to have myself, but also impart to others. Now then, there's also the notion, and this is a key part of our program, is that being a trainer is not just a set of competences, it's actually an identity in the sense that it's a role and it's a mission. And so a lot of what we also work with at our NLPU trainer training and consultancy training is really developing the identity of a world-class trainer. What's that role? What's that mission? And then, of course, beyond that, we have the whole notion of purpose. What is the bigger vision that you would have? Why to be a trainer? For what? For whom? And so you see, we're really looking at a whole inclusive range of trainer and consultancy competences. Now, again, we tend to say these upper levels are also focused at master practitioner, but all of these are what we need to be able to work with as a trainer. And so when we support people also as a trainer to develop those skills, We learn to be guides. A lot of times when we were doing practitioner, you're guiding somebody through a process. But to really make sure that somebody's gotten it on a behavior level, we have to also become coaches. So what we would say is a good trainer is a guide. The trainer is also a coach. Clearly, a trainer has to be a teacher, but a trainer also needs to be what we would call a mentor, because mentors are ones that help people to develop their own sense of motivation, self-motivation, their own sense of ethics. So now, again, key is we're also, as trainers, wanting to develop people. At NLPU, we consider that training is not just about skill development, it's about people development. And so it's what we call sponsoring, which is to really support somebody in their, to really integrate their own role and their own mission. And another level is what we call awakening, is awakening to a bigger sense of purpose, to our place in what we do in the world. And this is what I think why so many people that have been through our NLPU courses, and especially our NLPU trainer training, will basically call it a life-changing experience. Yes, you will come and you learn all of those skills. It's very practical and it's life-changing. And I think when you do truly step into that place of an NLP trainer, you know this is now a new stage of my not only my profession but my life. So what do we do? What are some of the basic things that we're doing? We're looking at some of these fundamental components of an NLP-based training program. Now I've worked in a lot of companies and organizations, and I've also worked with trainers who are not NLP trainers. And I really began to see what makes an NLP trainer different than regular trainers. And this has to do with this really strong emphasis on performance and skill development. So if you think about what we do as a trainer, if you think about, for those of you who are practitioners, master practitioners looking to be a trainer, you think about your best courses, your best days in your courses, there's always some kind of a setup. There's an introduction. We're setting up, this is what we're going to be teaching. And then there's a presentation. There's some kind of presentation of the key ideas, the key steps. And then there's always, and this is one of the things that I find is really makes NLP unique in many ways, is we're always demonstrating. You don't just talk about it, you demonstrate it, you show it. You've got to master it and be able to do it. We don't just talk about anchoring or talk about reframing or talk about, rapport. You have to demonstrate it. And then, of course, we're assigning these learning activities. So people don't just study, they're practicing, they're learning. And then there is also managing as a trainer the discussion and the reflection on what you've learned. And then, of course, there's feedback and assessment. So this is one part of what we do and what we cover, all these different aspects at our NLPU 400, our trainer training. And we would say that there's a cycle that we're always going through as we are doing any kind of training. There's a planning part, and planning is a key. And this is where some of the consulting skills come in. I've got to plan, what is it that I'm going to do? Then I've got to prepare myself. Then, of course, we do it. We reflect on it. And then there's often kind of a reorganizing, rearranging. So these are other things that we do. In fact, just to go over, these are some of the key skills that we cover. These are big categories. There's many if you go online and you look at the list on the NLPU website, you'll see more detail. But we go over what we call meta leadership skills. We say a trainer is a meta leader. What that means is you're often leading other leaders. You're not just, feeding followers. You are leading other leaders. So we're connecting, a vision and a mission to a project. you're motivating, inspiring, and aligning groups towards a goal. Whether it's a practitioner group or a group that you're doing training for. And I want to emphasize something here that's very important for our NLPU trainer training, which is it's not only about somebody just kind of learning some basic set of practitioner skills. It's for you as a trainer to be able to use NLP to create any kind of training. We've had people who've come through our trainer training that will then leave and create, for example, programs to help people improve eyesight, programs to help people in the areas of health to deal with situations like that are happening in parts of our world where there's war or trauma, develop programs for young people. So it's not just how do you teach the basic practitioner, it is how do we use NLP to teach NLP and create programs that bring NLP more to others in the world. So you could learn what you're learning here is, in fact, we often will recommend, we would go so far as to say we're going to require people to come with an idea for a program, a project, a training program that you would like to create. That is your program that you want to create for a particular group or for a particular audience. So this is why we say there's this meta leadership skills, because it's also about designing programs. Now, of course, there's going to be presentation skills. How do we set frames? How do we use universals? How do we anchor groups? How do we do what you call chaining responses and do future pacing with groups? How do we give and receive effective feedback? We work with co-coaching, a peer and self-assessment, what we call guardian angel skills too. There's obviously a lot of important relational skills that you need as a trainer that is something more than just what you do as a practitioner or master practitioner. If you're working with individuals, you need to create rapport with groups, to calibrate groups. Obviously, there's a lot of self-management, building personal resource states. There's group management, pacing a group, dealing with resistance is another part of what we're working with. There's conducting demonstrations and assigning exercises. There's exercise design and construction and assessment strategies. And beyond that, one of the things that we work with is we would say, how do you storyboard an entire program? So what we're really looking at here, and I find a lot of trainer trainings are essentially just presentation skills, which is great. That's important. But you need a lot more than that to really be a world-class NLP trainer. One of the reasons that NLP doesn't have the best reputation in the world these days is precisely because a lot of not world-class trainers have gone out there and done poor work. We are committed at NLPU to say, if you've come through our program, people will know you are a world-class trainer. You have those skills. So if that's your ambition, then that's what this program was designed for. Now, that's what we do. I want to say a little bit about how we do that. And we've started to make a lot of innovations, obviously, over the past couple of years of pandemics. And I would tell you that and Teresa will vouch for me about this, that if you had said 3 years ago we could do some kind of trainer training online, I would have said, no way, Jose. We can do practitioner. I think maybe mass practitioner, but trainer. Now then, of course, the pandemic happened. And of course, I was doing all my training online. So I realized, of course, you can do training online. We have to do training online. It means, though, that we have to then really refine some of these skills. You can't rely on some of the same things that you do with some of these unconscious competences that you have when you're working live. So obviously, we're going to really be emphasizing how you do virtual training as well. And of course, what's going to be happening this year is we're going to be doing some of this program. People will be attending virtually, and people will be attending physically. This is called a hybrid. So there will be physical attendees and virtual attendees. Our trainers, some trainers will be there physically, some trainers will be there virtually. But both the virtual and the physical participants will get a chance to interact with both. And we have designed these programs around a notion of what's called flipping the classroom. The idea of flipping the classroom is that if you think about the traditional way that learning was done, it kind of shows here on the top screen, this top picture. The student goes, they sit in a class, the teacher does the presentation, then they go home and they have to do the practice work by themselves with no support. They don't know, they can't ask anyone questions. And, they struggle. The idea of flipping the classroom is you can actually, and this is what we do, we have a presentation part of the program, the main presentations. There will be course parts that we do live, whether it's virtual or physical. But the main parts are going to be pre-recorded so that people can view them when at their, at their own pace and whenever they can. Then there are going to be the real-time plenary meetings. So this is where we say that this is the idea of the flipping the classroom, so that when people get together, it's more active. They're not just sitting there listening or watching. And we have found that this idea of the pre-recorded classes are so much more helpful in many ways, because you can review them as much as you want. You can slow them down. If something goes by and you weren't paying attention, it doesn't mean you've missed it forever. So this is a really important part. So during the meetings, the plenary meetings, which again will be virtual and physical, there's question and answer sessions, supplementary live demos, and of course, community building activities. So generally, what we've done in the past, and this is our plans, some of this might be adjusted as we get closer and find out what our compositions of our groups are. We generally have a 90-minute morning plenary with question and answers for European and Americans virtually, and a 90-minute evening plenary for people from Asia and Australia. And of course, then there's practice sessions. The people who are virtual will be doing some virtual practice sessions. Now, it can also be possible, depending upon timing and where people are, that you can do, and Robbie knows this because we've done these, and Judith too, we've done these in London, where we have people practicing who are live practicing with people who are virtual, and people who are virtual practicing with people live. And that's something very interesting to do. Now, again, a lot of that depends on time frame and coordination. So we've got to see who else coming from which parts of the world. Generally, in previous years, we have had people, just so you know, people who come to NLPU programs, and especially a trainee training. Usually we have at least 30 or more different countries. So it's a very international experience. Of course, all of the plenaries will be recorded and posted as well. And we will be recording also the live classroom sessions as well as streaming them. And so then practice sessions can be done on local time. And we will have, of course, we'll have our resource team and our affiliates. Some will be there in person. Others will be there online. So we'll have these practice sessions that we can get to work with groups. And we'll have our typical dashboard that everybody can use, whether you're virtual or there physically. Everybody gets access to this dashboard where you get the readings, which is the great thing about having these readings on this virtual dashboard is that's set up so that you can actually translate the readings into different languages using Google Translate, which interestingly is very good for some languages. It's amazing how well it works for some languages, not so good for others. We also have then these video master classes were on there, but we also will have transcripts of these master classes, which are also available to be translated. We'll have all the slides that will be used for the master classes and again, for the supplementary work. Those are also available to be translated through the Google Translate function. Demos will be done by me or other NLPU faculty or affiliates. So that's, of course, some of those demos may appear on the recordings. Others, of course, that's what the flipping the classroom is about, is for us to do those demos, and we do the practices. There are also quizzes and assessments on the dashboard that are, again, translatable. We have been blessed to have Antonio Mesa come and do some graphic facilitation for us to capture key ideas. And we usually have an audio and video library, which is generally in English only. But these are some of the really important things that are available that again, I think make this particular training, and especially this year, something that's going to be very unique. So if I'm going to just put up, I'm going to wrap up here and take some questions, and also maybe some of our other trainers want to say something. But obviously, you can find out more about this at nlpu.com. You can also contact Teresa directly at teresanlpu@gmail.com. Deb Roundy, who is our resource team coordinator and general all-round resource person. You can contact her at droundy at nlpu@gmail, or she's on Facebook at deborah.roundy. Also, we have Toki, who is our NLPU, is working to support Teresa as NLPU coordinator. And Toki is at TokiNLPUCoordinator@gmail.com. So we've got lots of places. If you're interested in finding out some more specifics, we'll be having more specifics, obviously, as time gets closer. So I'm going to pause there. That's kind of the presentation aspect of this. And I'm now, of course, we're all interested in if there's any questions that you might have. I haven't been able to look at the chat recently, but there may be some questions in the chat, or you can probably, it's easiest if you have a question to use the hand raising function, which is if you go under reactions and just click the raise hand, that's probably the best way. And then we'll have you unmute yourself. So
Robert?
Yes.
This is Deb. Can I say something? I'm unmuted.
Yes, please.
For a second. Okay,
please, yes.
The email address is just a little wrong. It's it's droundy at, excuse me, droundy NLP. There's no U.
Oh, it's not NLPU. It's droundy.
No,
NLP.
I think I told you the wrong one. And if it's okay, I'll just say my hellos and then mute myself again.
Yes, thank you, Deb.
Yeah, so Deborah Roundy, I'll be there, NLPU, excited. And I also do a lot beforehand. One of the things is setting up a Facebook page for anyone who wants to connect on Facebook. It's set up, and if you get hold of me, I'll get you on it. And other than that, I'm looking really forward to greeting you at NLPU. On Facebook, I will be sending, and to some emails, I'll be sending some things to let you know what's coming up, what NLPU things are that you might not get in another place, or how to get hold of different people, things like that. So you'll want to be on Facebook or give me your email. Okay, I'm muting. I'm out of here. I'm not out of here, but my voice is out of here. Bye. Love to all.
Yeah. I don't know if either any of our trainers want to say something, if Robbie or Judith or if
Sure, I'll happily say something. Really very brief. I can say that, as you know, I did the course in whenever it was, 20. I'll add a spotlight for myself.
It's like 26 or something, wasn't it, Robbie? Or 20?
I think 2006. So it was a time ago. So obviously it's led for a new career for me, which is good. Thanks for that, Robert. But on a more serious basis, I think that I would just simply say two things. Firstly, do you teach NLP or do you teach with NLP? I think the thing which I found was, very detailed exercises, really helped raise my game as a trainer, and, using anchoring in presentations and so on. So I think that's one thing. And the other thing is, yes, there is something kind of magical that happens. I mean, everyone is really committed. You're pretty committed by practitioner, by master practitioner, you're completely committed. So the people who are along there, it just opens up a whole new world. I mean, I'm traveling tomorrow to do a training. I would never have thought I would be doing something like that 15 years ago or whatever. So thank you, Robert, and thank you, Teresa and the team.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you.
I look forward to seeing some of you there.
And I'll just add to that. I mean, you said life-changing, Robert. I mean, it's an incredible experience. You know, it's a kind of expansion of multiple dimensions, you know, of yourself that you get to, you know, bring out, but also you get to touch other people because you are skilled and you really know what you're doing, and you're able to really see, you know, how it's landing with people and how they too are kind of growing and changing. It's really, I mean, profound path of life, I think. I'm really looking forward to it this summer.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you made a really important point that for me, you know, like a lot of times when we learn practitioner and master practitioner, we have a lot of these unconscious competences, which are great. But as a trainer, you can't just go, well, you just kind of do it, you know, intuitively do it. You actually have to be able to know what you're doing and say, yeah, I just did this. And there's something for me that's particularly empowering about that, and to me, it's something that I love about it, which is I'm not up on my head thinking about it. I'm doing it, but I have that ability then to reflect back and go, this is what I just did, and I know
that extends into your whole life. Then
exactly.
I mean, it goes. It's everywhere. Everything you learn will be useful everywhere forever. You know, it's just incredible.
Yeah. Thank you.
Robert, I was wanting to explain to people the difference of getting certified while you are here in Santa Cruz at the program, which everyone will be certified by the end of the program. But the people who are online are going to be zooming for a couple more months. Yes,
because the practice, and I think thank you, Teresa, that's important, because what we find is that for people that can't be there, you know, that their practice is not always possible to do within that time frame, and so we extend that. And those practice sessions are really powerful. And I know, you know, we've gotten such great feedback about the practice sessions that Judith has done, and that Edith has done, also that Michelle has done, and Deb has done. So this is, and Toki has done. So we've got it's an opportunity, and like you don't have to do everything by the end of those 12 days.
Yes.
Anything else from anybody else? Any questions? I see a hand up. Yay, we have a hand up. Okay. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Robert.
Hi.
One of my concerns, sort of like parts integration, is how does the experience being in Santa Cruz and doing it online compare? And in terms of the end result, how does that compare? I understand that the experience in Santa Cruz is different.
Yeah. I mean, to be first of all completely honest with you, since we haven't done it this way before, I can't really say exactly how it compares. But what I know is from what we've done with our practitioner and our master practitioner, when we did them just totally online, that the results were actually surprisingly, we had very positive, surprising results. And I do know that given how much work we do and need to do virtually, that the experience, it's not going to be completely the same, but it will be, I think it will be probably a very positive experience, but in a slightly different way. So again, the honest answer is I can't compare them yet, specifically for trainer training, because this is the first time that we've done it this way. But I'm pretty certain from the experience that we've had with practitioner and master practitioner that they're both going to be very, very valuable. And of course, there's nothing like being there in person in a way, but it doesn't mean that you're going to have to take less or get less, or So I think you will get a very, very good learning experience.
I would also say that while NLP University is going on in August, of course, all the people who are online wish that you were there and have fun in the evenings and having meals. But when we finish in August, the online group continues on joyfully. And then all the people who were in Santa Cruz some of them will join the online group because that community online is precious in a similar way.
That's right.
So then we will be wanting to come with you online. And I think, honestly, that's why the online group goes on so long after the program.
I don't want to stop. Yeah. Okay, I see we have, thank you. We have another hand up here, and that is, let's see, can we spotlight you, add the spotlight? Oh, it's Jehan. There you are. Hi.
Hello. Thank you very much, Robert. I wish I could make it to Santa Cruz. I wish I can be in your physical presence as well, and all the colleagues and teams. It's been quite a couple of years doing the practitioner, the master practitioner, and now the trainer.
Yes.
And I've been training for around 8 years now, which is nothing compared to your experiences. And I was wondering, if I already have been a trainer for a long time, trained by Dr. John Grinder and certified by him. And now that I want to move my certification to come through the NLP University, as I find more alignment with the community, with yourself, with the community and the teachings, I was wondering, when will I be able to give my students the NLP certificate? What is my process, and would me being a trainer taken into consideration to shorten the time frame? And I really am so grateful you're doing this online. I'm grateful to COVID that I can do that online and be with my children at the same time at home, and that's a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jehan. That is a really important question. So let me say this. So what happens as a result of this? So what does the certification at the NLPU trainer training give you? You become a member of the global training and consulting community. Now, what that means is that we are acknowledging you as a trainer, and that you can give your own certification. And generally, the people, we can't enforce this for everybody, but generally people, if somebody has given their certification, for example, if you certified somebody as a practitioner, we would accept your practitioner into our master practitioner program. If you certified somebody as a master practitioner, we would accept them into our trainer program. So, but it would be under your certification. Now, there are two other stages that people, these usually require a little bit more beyond the trainer training. There's what we call authorization, which people, if they come to our master trainer, authorization means that you can actually use all the NLPU materials. So a trainer certification doesn't mean you can take the manual and take our materials and use it without permission. You'd have to get the permission. But some people, they with this idea of authorization, they can be authorized with our practitioner or master practitioner, and then they can just use that material however they want. There's also a farther path that we call affiliation, and I'm not even sure, there may be some of our affiliates on. I know Robbie and Judith have done this, where they can actually give a program like a master practitioner program that is affiliated with NLPU, and then I would sign.
That means I can put the logo and I can.
Exactly, and we sign the certificates. Teresa and I will sign them. Then it's basically, we're saying this is the same as an NLPU program. Now, having just done the trainer, we can't say that yet, but we can say that we believe that you will have the skill to be able to certify a practitioner. And if you say this practitioner has the skill, we will accept them in our master practitioner program.
Thank you very much. And what process will I need to get to the affiliation? I'm interested to be. I already certify practitioners and master practitioners. It is amazing that their trainings are recognized by the NLPU, and to get to the level where I am an affiliate.
So generally, that's where we have our master trainer program, which we're planning to do next summer. But that master trainer is where then we say we have enough experience with that person that we know that they would give a program that would be the same and the same quality as what we would do at NLPU. We would, again, because then we're saying it's an NLPU program, not just that we're we know that you're doing a good practitioner, but it's not, wouldn't be the same as saying this is an NLPU practitioner. So that's the path.
And if it was, the trainings I provide are for Arabic speaking, so they're in Arabic language, and I keep the terminologies in English for them to know if they want to continue. Sometimes I use both languages if I'm having multilingual people. So that will also include the translation to be a representative in the Arab world for that.
Yeah, so if we already have the translation, we can provide that. If we, otherwise we will find some way, either working with whoever, that we can make the translation.
Sorry, I didn't get that. My.
So if we already have the translation, we can provide that. For example, we have translation in many languages. If we don't have it yet, we work together with whoever is the affiliate to make that happen. So thank you.
I look forward to translate it to Arabic for you as well, if it is not.
Great.
And thank you very much. Thank you.
I know we're getting to our closing time. I see we have 2 more questions. If we can do that quickly, or 3. I honestly don't have too much more time myself, but let's quickly go to the next one, see if we can get them quickly. So I see that it's, yes, hi.
Hello, my name is Lali. The name doesn't show here. Basically, first of all, I want to say thank you for bringing this practice to life, and I've learned history of how you developed and bring it to modern days, and thank you very much for that. I myself went through practitioner, masters, and trainers training in Austin. It was amazing experience. And at the same time, I was looking at your practice and was interested, is this course that is upcoming would be your last one that you will be teaching in person, or there's more to come, or what's the plans for future?
That's a good question. And the honest answer is, I don't know for sure. What I can say is it's the one I will for sure be at, and I can't really know for sure beyond that and how much I would be involved in the others. Certainly part of the reason we're doing it this way is that those master classes will be there, forever. But whether I'm involved in the plenaries and how much in the plenaries is a sort of a different topic. How we continue at NLPU, of course, we want to be, we would like to be at the University of California at Santa Cruz as long as we can. And we have our affiliate trainers who will be following up. So again, the answer is, I think, I don't know, but I can guarantee I will be there this year. I think that's as far as I can go.
And also, small answer to Alexis, he was asking about parts integration. I want to say from my personal practice and also the way I was trained prior to that, we did practice it online and it was as good as being in person. The results are pretty tremendous. So go for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to take just quickly another one here. And this is, hi.
Hi. So I'll get right to the point because I know we're short on time. Do you mind maybe explaining the difference between, I know you do 3 types of course for coaching. You got the mindset map coaching certification, generative coaching certification, and you got the trainer training, which is somewhat of a coaching as well. And from somebody who is interested into the coaching of the business world and coaching, whether it's with companies, CEOs, which would you recommend, and maybe explain the difference between the 3 different coaching certifications?
Sure. So by the way, because the trainer training is really, like say, it's trainer and consultancy, which like our master practitioners, where we would focus more on coaching skills. And what I can say is, so generative coaching it involves a little bit of NLP, but it's a very specific methodology, a 6-step methodology. It can be used, for life coaching, also professional coaching, but it's a completely different thing than what we do at the NLPU trainer training. Which is, I would say, is much more geared towards somebody who wants to really not just coach an individual, but create interventions. If you think about training and consultancy, that coaching is typically about one-on-one. You can coach a team, but you're training groups, sometimes massive groups. You might be working, a lot of the trainings that I've designed for organizations are to really create transformation in that organization. So it's really on a completely different level. And, you know, the mindset coaching, mindset map coaching is specifically about how you use a particular tool that maps out certain qualities of mindset. So they each have they each have their place. But I would say, if you want to be going into organizations or companies and making significant, change transformations, the one that's would be most relevant is the trainer and consultancy training, because that's where you're going to get those kind of skills. Because the coaching skills tend to be in both the generative coaching and the mindset coaching, one-on-one, and following specific kind of methodologies. Here, it's kind of like we said, it's really sort of more meta in a way to that. So I hope that helps a little bit.
Yeah, that answered my question. So this one in Santa Cruz is the one that you'd say is the more global.
It's definitely more global.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, everybody, I'm going to need to go. Thank you for your time. If there are any more questions, Toktam said that she would be willing to stay.
I'll be here.
And Teresa will stay. I'm going to, Toki, let's see.
Thank you. And also I want to say hello and welcome to Chris. Chris Hodbom is here too. So I'm just.
Oh, hi, Chris. I don't see anybody. Hello. So I'm going to say good night to everybody, or good morning, good afternoon, good night.
Hello.
But
Good to
see you, and I'm going to make you the host, Toki. So you are now our host, and I will see you all. Hopefully, I'll get to see you virtually or in person in Santa Cruz this summer. Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody. Bye for now. Bye.
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 Thank you. So if anyone has a question regarding the fast track class as well, I'm not sure if anyone wants to, if you want to take the practitioner or master practitioner to review. So we are offering that before starting the trainer consultancy certification in August. So I can answer those questions as well. And I see Ricardo still. Do you have a question?
So I came in a little bit late, and Robert was saying that, a lot of this, he's going to teach us how to train NLP. And I saw, the setup presentation, how to put the material, and I came in when he was talking about that we're going to be able to put together a program. My question was, are we going to be taught how to facilitate an NLP practitioner session? Or is that not in this course, and is this in the next course?
You will learn it more in master practitioner course, but in training course, you will learn mostly how you can design a class, a topic, and you will practice that.
Got it. Cool. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
I would also say that it seems like with every lesson, there will be another goal for the trainer added on. Pretty soon, there might be 20 goals for your presentation, and there might be goals for your recognizing if the audience is learning, is following, is understanding. So you will be learning the techniques of a trainer, an NLP trainer, by adding on these other checks to yourself of how you're coming across. So it's also, we do want people to facilitate the practitioner and the master practitioner programs that Robert has already made 30 videos for. And in fact, we have a couple of our affiliates already doing that. So that is something that affiliates might want to also consider. Now, the affiliation part, as Robert said, it comes in next year with the master trainer class, where people are then qualified to sign a limited copyright authorization where you can actually use Robert's materials for practitioner, master practitioner, and after a few years, trainer. That's all I wanted to say.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure, Ricardo. So hello, Michelle. So good to have you here.
Oh, hello, Toki. It's so good to see you. And also you, Teresa. It's good to have a good connection. I'm over at my son's house. The power's turned off on my house because they're doing maintenance. So I'm tucked away in a bedroom over here. But I just wanted to ask, do we get a trainer's training manual this time around?
I think, you know that, Teresa, right? You want to go first?
I'm not sure. That's a question for Robert. He has not answered that.
Okay, because I just chatted him that before he left, but I don't know if he saw my chat. So, yeah.
So we will have it online for people who are joining via Zoom, just like the other years. It will be on the dashboard. So for each topic, they have, you know, some text to read, and plus the you know, the facilitation graphic paintings from Antonio. And I think for people who are in person in the campus, we will have something for them because they need to have a manual to be able to practice. So I guess for the in-person, yes, but for sure for everyone, we will have it on the dashboard so they can read it just like last year.
Okay. I really, you know, before it starts, it'd be wonderful if I had even like an older copy, just so I can have it in front of me. You know, just because I'm dyslexic and I need that little bit of an extra than doing the online work.
Yeah, trust me, I'll need that too. So we're waiting for Robert. Once it's ready, he will give it to us. Yeah,
Okay.
I will make a note, so we'll give it to you. Sure.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Sure. And there is a question in the chat. Is focus on facilitating NLP to groups or how to facilitate in general using NLP techniques and this more? So if I want to answer this question, Glenn, the training course is mostly we are reviewing the practitioner and also learning how to teach that, practicing with how to manage our voice, how to express manage the class, how to put together a workshop, and how we are getting the background and better understanding from each techniques that we can teach and also facilitate a group. And then your next question is more focused on newly oriented trainers or on trainers facilitator with your experience. And so I'm not sure if I understand these questions, if you can talk to me. So we have a training and consultancy course, and then we have a master trainer and facilitator course, which is going to be next following year. And that one is more focused on facilitating. Netherlands is possible to join a couple of days early, rest jet lag. And so yes, for joining in the campus earlier, you can talk to Teresa and she can help and manage, or you can email to me as well. We start the program on August 4th. Many people who are traveling to US, they're managing to come earlier. Maybe they want to stay in another city in San Francisco and then come to Santa Cruz, or some of those, they just come directly and stay sooner there. Me personally, I think the other facilitator, we were trying to be there by August 2nd, 3rd, and definitely will be amazing experience if you can join in person. It would be nice. Hi, Patty. So glad to see you here. Let me spotlight you.
Hi. Hi to everybody. I wanted to say specifically what I had gotten out of the experience, which is I learned to specify a project, create a storyboard, write a proposal, and carry my project forward. And so it was connecting to my vision, making it explicit, knowing how to basically manifest it and carry it forward. And that was part of my experience. So in addition to the coaching and the consultancy, actually designing a product that is useful to you in your business life, in your coaching life, is, for me, was at the heartbeat of doing that training. And those of you who want to and will be in Santa Cruz, yes, we will be dancing and drinking all night. That's just the way it goes. And if you're online, we'll set it up so you can drink and dance with us virtually.
Yay!
Yes.
Well, that sold me.
It's going to be very very amazing experience if you can make it in person. If not, we will trying to have more programs for the people who are joining via Zoom. So I'm not sure if all of you have the practitioner and master practitioner certification to join the training. We are offering the fast track learning. As you know, we are doing it for each year. He's teaching one topic since 2020. And because we want to make it happen for everyone, so we are going to offer the practitioner and master practitioner, and you can start the practitioner on June 22nd to July 14th. And then we start the master practitioner and coach certification is going to be July 15th to August 2nd. So there are opportunity for anyone who wants to attend and make it for this. And it's going to be online and practice hours with me each day, weekdays, 4 hours, to make sure that you have the knowledge in your muscles. So then you can be very confident to join for the trainer training. So it's going to be 2 hours practice and 2 hours you watching videos and getting ready for the practice hours with me. So if you have any question, you can reach out to me after this session and about that. So I'm happy to assist and share information, or simply you can go to the website nlpu.com. And there are more information there that we can help you to make it happen if you want to join us or you want to review the knowledge again. Is there any question for me? And here is my phone number. I just put it for everyone in the chat box. Sure, I can contact you if you guys want to send in private phone number. That would be easier, so I can share more information if anyone wants further information. I think if you have the, thank you, Susanna, have a good one. I think if you have the trainer certification, you can join, but honestly, because it's 3rd generation, I'm not sure if you get trained for NLP in 3rd generation. If you want to become a trainer for 3rd generation, I'm telling you, you need to be able to understand all of the concept of, a minimum, you need to review the master practitioner to be able to be a trainer for the 3rd generation NLP, which Robert Dilts and the faculty trainers and affiliate partners are teaching. So it's very important. Okay. Okay, perfect. If you guys share, I'm sharing my contact information. If you want to just text me or email me, and then I can talk to you for, and I see there are Farsi speakers here. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask them if they have any questions in Farsi so I can help them as well. دوستان ایرانی اگر که سوالی دارین من در خدمت شما هستم. دوره‌ای که برگزار میشه برای آگست، عزیزانی که میخوان شرکت بکنن، چون من باید توی سانتا کروز باشم، عزیزانی هستن که ازشون میخوام که مدرک زبان داشته باشن و من مطمئن باشم که خودشون به انگلیسی میتونن توی کلاس راحت صحبت بکنن، کلاس آنلاین. یا اینکه انشالله من توی پاییز 1401 در خدمتتون هستم، چون هنوز هیچ چیزی به دست من نرسیده که ترجمه بکنم، آماده بکنم برای آموزش فارسی. بعد اون موقع انشالله دوره رو برای فارسی زبان ها هم به فارسی برگزار میکنم. If there is any other questions, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, looking forward to see you in Santa Cruz. Great, great. I'm excited. I'll be there August 3rd. So looking forward to see you all, and feel free to reach out to me via WhatsApp or email or text me. I'm happy to assist. Edith will be there. Will you be there in person or you will be online?
Yeah, I know. I will be in person in Santa Cruz this year.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Tina? Are you going to join us in person? Please join.
I will come to pick you up from London.
Yeah. How about you, Maximiliano? Are you going to join in person?
I'm more planning. I have a passport request. I have flights, and so I think I'll be there in Santa Cruz.
Beautiful. Thank you. That would be a different experience if you can join. Yes, Jahan.
Thank you, Toki. So good to see you and all again. Toki, I got disconnected for a little while and I couldn't hear, but I meant to learn more about the program that is after August, the classes that are after August. What is the program like? Is it? I think it's going to be more practice, isn't it? How many days per month?
Yes. So once we have the program, we have a lot of amazing facilitator that you already know: Edith, Michelle, Deborah, Patricia. I will do some parts and many other people. So they will offering different times and hours that it may match your time zone. And then you can start practicing with them within the program. And then after that, we usually, me personally, and I think everyone, we were all continuing practicing. It will be a few hours in a week, depends the schedule they are offering. I think by the end of October, early November, it will be like this usually. So you get the chance to practice all the syllabuses, and also you have the assessments on the dashboards that you need to answer. And once all done, so you can simply email us once all the assessment done as well, and then you email us and say, I was practicing with this facilitator and I'm done with my assessment, and then Teresa will issue the certificate. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I so much look forward. Forward to that.
Me too. Okay, thank you, my dear. Thank you. I see. Okay, it's you. Okay. Sounds great. Any further question? Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So you all have my contact information, right? Great. So some of those you are asking for the LinkedIn. I'm gonna share it here. To be honest, I have a lot of contact information. I don't know how to find every one of you, but you can find me anywhere, and I'm trying to answer all the questions you have. So you can use that link as well. Okay. Thank you so much for everyone to joining us today, tonight. I don't know. And let me know if you have any questions. We are starting the fast track very soon in 2 days. So join on time and get ready for the summer.